It's a couple of days later and we are back here. The sun hasn't come up yet, but it's looking like a glorious day. Anyway, back to the live stuff. This morning we're planning to do the bigger of the hives. We don't need to make any cuts on this one. We'll just pull off the boards in one piece. They're rather short lengths. Let their maintenance people put them back on. We've already stacked up the other jobs, the other hives boards there for maintenance people to do their thing. You'll see this cavity is entirely empty. We got all the bees out of that. The bees we were seeing at the end were just robbers. And then these two smaller hives we'll deal with later. One over there and one over here. We don't see much action from them earlier in the day because they're a lot smaller by the thermal image and by their actions. So fingers crossed they're not deceiving us. Anyway, let's get set up to start on this. So, okay, we now have Talia helping out. Hi Talia! Okay, this hive is bigger than the other hive. We've taken the boards off just as in one sheet. As stated earlier, it's just that little bit easier, and they're short lengths anyway. So it's a lovely big hive. Weirdly enough, less resources in this hive, a lot more pollen but less honey. And it's all crystallized, so it's definitely it's all got that texture of canola. But anyway, we'll bee back the girls up and then keep going. They are really meaner than the other hive, so we've even given them a puff of smoke just to try to calm them down a little. But yay, that's Talia just gently sucking the bees into the hive box, into the bee back. There we go. Fly. Okay, we've just pulled the queen out of the hive. That's her just there. We'll drop her in into the queen clip, put her in the frame with the brood sections. So far we've got 4 frames of brood. We've got more brood to collect. Then we're going to actually once we've got 8 frames, we're going to unite them here on site. But there we go. Let's sort this out. Okay, we've just got Talia down there cleaning up the little bits of scraps that fell because we had some really brittle comb. But Talia's been absolutely fantastic, A+. She's laughing because she doesn't think she was that good, but she was. You can see we've got the hive out, so yay, lots of bees flying around, but predominantly robber bees from the other 2 hives, so honestly not worried about them at the moment. I'll move on to the next hive because it's still relatively early. Okay, we are back here and we're now going to sort out this smaller hive. We have Talia. Hi Talia! The world loves Talia. So does her man, but anyway. We know the heat signatures to the top and right of the window. We don't know where the honey is, if the hive goes up or down, or both. So we'll have to do a couple of exploratory cuts. It's one of these unusual ones where it's with the window there. The hive could do anything. Anyway, let's see what happens. Okay, so we've made the cuts and exposed the hive. Most of the bottom part of the hive is just unused old comb, and the bees are all up the top utilising that. This hive is smaller and weaker, but it will get through winter and we'll build it back up. So Talia's framing up the comb at the moment. What's really frustrating is all the really nice smooth comb that was at the bottom was all resource and bee free, and so pointless putting in the hive. And all the twisty turny comb at the top that's all rough is where all the bees are. So not the ideal situation, but we'll make do. We've only got a little bit to go, clearly, but we've just caught the queen. So there she is on the bottom right. So yay, it is a much smaller hive. We're not even going to have 6 full frames of resources, but we'll just hang queen there and go from there. We've got the bottom box has got 5 frames of brood and resources and just 3 feeder frames, and then the top box is just an extra box so the bees don't overheat while we're bee vacuuming. We have Talia up the ladder, vacuuming up the bees from this hive. So we're rocking along. A couple of smaller clusters, just they've got them confused where they need to land. But we're doing well, really well. So while Talia's bee vacuuming the bees up there, doing a great job up there, I've come over and done some exploratory work over here. I've cut the 2 lower boards out because, again, even though I'm sure it's a small hive, I had to confirm that it wasn't like the other hives that had comb down the wall. But thankfully it is a small hive. You can see the base of it there, so it's only a few more panels up, so I can skip 3 panels and go from there. But it really doesn't have the activity, so I suspect it will be similar to the third hive, the hive we did this today. So let's see how we go. There we go, we've taken the boards off. This one's bigger than the last one, but it definitely isn't huge. It's just moderately sized. I believe we can get this done in a period of time and not be working late, which will be awesome. Yay! There we go. We're working pretty quick because it's about to rain, so we're not mucking around. But Queen looks like she's running to this cavity. Yeah, she's running to that cavity, all right. Okay. So I'm going to use smoke to push them out and push her out. Okay, because of the electrical cables there and not knowing if they're live or not.
Well, let me check your head because they're all fluttering in your head here.
I smoked that cavity and the cavity emptied, but Queenie didn't come out, and now they're all taken to the air, so it might be one of those few occasions that the Queen can still fly, which will be really frustrating. But let's just let them land and settle and see what happens. So Talia is awesome. We couldn't find where Queenie had gone, so we decided to look over here. Talia spotted a group of bees on the ground down there, and she found the Queen. So Queenie found due to Talia. Awesome work there. Are you extremely happy?
Extremely.
Okay, so we will actually, we want all the bees flying around to come back. So Queenie's going to stay in the clip. Just yeah, we just sort of need to bait the bees to come back. So yeah, we can sort of, without hurting Queenie. Oh, come on, stop. There we go. Let's just get her on here. There we go. So Queenie's just hanging there. Yay. Okay, so we've hung Queenie up there, so now all the flying bees will come back to her. Yay! Little break time. Okay, Talia is now, because obviously we set the queen there as a trap and lots of the bees came back. So now Talia's using the bee vac to get them into the box, and I'll start packing up. Great effort today. So this is the one we did a few days ago. It's looking great. This one we did this morning, and it's looking empty as well. No bees or rubber bees left there. The few foragers we missed have come and landed on the mesh. So yay! So we don't lose them on the way to quarantine, we'll put a lid that doesn't fully cover the hive so they don't overheat, but stops the bees blowing away. Then we come to the next one. We only had 2 vacuum bases, so we had to swap this one's base out. It's got a air box on the top, so you won't see as many bees up top. Most of them, if you can see through the gaps, are down in the bottom box. But yep, and with the same thing happening, some of the foragers we missed are on this box, on the filter. We've got a few foragers that haven't found their way, or their robber bees still in the last few resources from this hive. A couple of days you won't see any bees on here, and Talia is almost, well, she's got a lot of bees in the air, but she's almost finished bee vacuuming the bulk of the bees up there. Doing a fantastic job. Yay. We started the morning with sunrise, and I've missed the sunset, but yeah, it's now sunset. Bees are all in this box. There's some hive beetle running around there. Anyway, all clear. On to the next. Yep, a few foragers found the box there, and all clear. 1 or 2 bees floating around there, and lucky last, lots of bees in this box. This is bigger than the second of the day, and all clear. Awesome. I've left materials at each spot for their tradies to nail them back on, but we're done. Yay, exciting times. There we go. I've just packed down the hives, released the queens. I will need to put feeder lids back on them and feed them and whatnot. However, today's not the best. It's slightly drizzly and very cold. However, we had to just work quick and get them all sorted because I needed to get those queens out before the bees said queens aren't doing their jobs and decided to kill them. But there we go. Ironically, the hive that so that's the first big hive. It's still 2 boxes. This was the first of the smaller hives. This one was the second of the bigger hives, but I've managed to pack it down into 1 box, which is really good for this time of the year. We need to shrink them down so they use less energy keeping the hive warm, but unfortunately the second smaller hive, not at this stage can I pack it down. Give it a couple of weeks and I'll be able to reduce it to 1 box. Same with this one. We want to get them all to 1 box before midwinter. Well, we're sort of there anyway, but and then take them to canola start of spring so that we can build them back up to really ultra strong hives. There we go. Same as always, they've got a lovely view out there, So, but it is, as I said, now it's starting to rain a lot heavier than it was.